Hey guys, Stumpy Grump here. Welcome to my workbench. On Monday, I went ahead and used the Cobra motor paints for the very first time and sprayed it on the hood, the 68 Firebird extra hood I had, test hood. Sprayed real nice. I just sprayed a light mist coat to start with through the whole thing, and then 3 or 4 medium coats, and this stuff levels right out, smooths right out. It just very smooth. I sprayed it over some gray Stano-Res primer, and after about a half an hour drying time, it dries in 24 hours completely, but after about a half an hour drying time, I went ahead and sprayed some Createx 4050 UVLS clear over it. They suggest spraying their own 2K clear on it, but I figured I'd be okay spraying the Createx over it, and it looks pretty decent. This was just yesterday, so it's barely 24 hours, so I'll give it a couple more days. I'm going to try to buff it out, wet sand it and polish it and see what happens. But in the meantime, today, Tuesday, the same Cobra motor paints I sprayed on the Monogram 1955 Ford F100 for the USACC group build. I stripped all the chrome off the bumpers and the front grill piece. So there's the grill piece and the bumper. Once again, I sprayed about a real light, kind of a lighter mist coat to start with, and then 3 or 4 medium coats to give it the coverage. Bring in the NASCAR gas can that I got from a NASCAR kit. Painted that in the same color. And a jack. And there's the intake plenum for the truck engine. And a lot of all the other parts I painted in the blue. This here, the step part and the inner fender part. The bed. Actually, show you this. So very rare for me is the tape actually lifted a little bit of the primer off right there. I did use some different tape, blue painter's tape, and I don't normally use that for that, so maybe that's what happened. But the Stano-Res is usually, problem free. This is the first time one of the, very rare for that to happen, to actually have the primer lift off the plastic. Okay, there's the dashboard. I'll finish detailing, put the gauges on after I clear it. The outer bed, part of the bed, the tailgate, and the front part of the bed, and the fenders. Once again, this stuff just lays on super smooth. It dries super smooth. Really good paint. Awesome paint. The hood. And the cab. I'm going to try to get the orange sprayed on. The orange parts I'm going to spray orange in a couple minutes here. I just wanted to show you the blue real quick. Okay, so I got the orange sprayed on. Here's the engine. I'm going to do the oil pan. I'm going to hand paint that in the blue and aluminum for the transmission. Here's the top of the radiator. I'll paint all this in black. The hood hinge. The V8 front logo, front emblem. There's the pan hard bar. and the frame. I'm going to paint the gas tank in aluminum, and thinking that's a battery cover. Either paint that in black or aluminum as well. So we'll see. Not sure. And there's the wheels. Wheels looking pretty good. Now the orange didn't cover quite as good as the blue did. Had to go a little extra, 1 or 2 extra coats. Not surprising. It's usually kind of difficult, at least for me, to get orange to cover properly, especially with the craft paints, the water-based paints. But so there's all that. Okay, so now it's time to tape the stripes off. I already got them taped off. So what I did was I took 10mm masking tape. I decided I want my stripes 14mm wide. So I have 10mm Tamiya masking tape, and I have 2mm Tamiya tape for curves. So what I'm going to do is, what I did is I made a drill line through the center of a piece of tape, long enough to cover the hood and everything at different stages, and I centered it. Easy part is I centered on this hood line here, and then I took my 2mm tape here on either side, and I put it right up against that, and I did that on both sides. It's a little off-centered, but you'll get the gist. I did that, so that wasn't wide enough. Then I took the masking tape and I ran it along the edge of the white tape on each side to give me my 14-inch stripes, or 14mm stripes. And I just did that throughout the process. And on the bed parts here, I did the same thing with the white tape over here. And I just ran the tape on the outside of it. And there's my 14mm stripes. All through. Inside of the tailgate, and inside of the bed, front of the bed. Up and over. And then I measured at different points, and of course you have to make sure you get the tape tucked into these little, burnish it down into all these little surfaces here, that indentations and whatnot. So those are all taped off. That's how I did that. Hopefully that explains a little bit. Now I got to tape off the rest of everything before I paint the orange stripe. Just hope I got everything lined up right, especially with the back here. Just hope it all lines up right. Looks like it should. Should being the operative word. So that's that. Let me get the rest of the body taped off and the hood taped off and all the parts taped off. And hopefully I'll get the orange sprayed on a little bit later on today. Okay, so I got all my parts painted in the orange. And everything's unmasked. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy. There's no paint run under the tape or anything like that. Nice crisp lines. No tape lift off from any of this. So pretty happy. Pretty happy with it. And the cab. I might have got the roof stripe a little cockeyed, but not totally worried about it. Yeah, it might just be a little bit cockeyed there towards the front, but what are you gonna do? Thought I had it straight. Might not even be noticeable. Could just be me. Get the hood on. Have the stripe line up on the hood. So tomorrow I'm thinking I'm going to put a coat of clear on it. And then just one coat. And then for the stripe, the separator between the lines here, I'm going to use some of these decals that I have. I'm going to use the outside here of these racing stripes for the line, for the separation between the two colors there on the, between the orange and the blue. I don't think I'm going to trust myself to tape off anything straight that narrow, you know what I mean? So I'm going to cheat and go decals for those pinstripes there. Okay, and I got the clear sprayed on the USACC group build truck here, and if you can see right there, I don't know what happened with the clear. I think I had it too thick and I sprayed it too heavy that first coat. Just having a few snafus and faux pas with my clears lately. So I'm going to try to wet sand it, I think on Monday the 30th. Give it a few days there, because I did this on Friday the 27th. So I'm going to get it wet sanded, try to get it wet sanded and see if I can smooth it out on Monday. If not, unfortunately, it's going to have to go into the stripper itself. I tried dry sanding the hood a little bit, but that just wasn't going to do the trick. I think I need to wet sand it, believe it or not. Dry sanding it just wasn't going to go anywhere with it. So we'll see what happens. I hate to strip this thing, but I got plenty of time, no rush. I'll do what I got to do. But in the meantime, as you can see, I've decided to take apart the Gumball Rally Camaro that I did earlier and repaint it and fix the ride height on it. So stay tuned for some updates on that one. So this is Stumpy Grump signing off, saying thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.